definitely a beautiful day today. We've had some cloudy weather the last couple of days, so you know, still good riding weather, but nothing beats being on a bike out in the sun, letting that engine rip. So I figured I'd talk a little bit about how I started riding motorcycles. It's something that I love doing. Well, let me not say I love doing, but when I was younger, it was something I was obsessed with. I loved hearing the bikes ride by, you know, the sport bikes and all of that stuff. I've been riding since about 2012, so about 11 years now. I actually started riding a motorcycle on a street bike. I had a Yamaha R6. I have to be honest, I mean, I loved that bike. I mean, it was definitely fast. It felt so comfortable. You know, as I got better, you know, riding and I rode it more, I felt even more comfortable on it, leaning, and you know, unfortunately I did have an accident on it. It wasn't a high-speed accident, it was a low-speed accident, but you know, the bike ended up flipping over and the frame cracked, and it was just a loss. You know, but then I started kind of, I've always loved the Harley world, right? Like, just, you know, you see them out there, and you know, a lot of guys do, you know, a lot of custom work to them, and you know, as a kid, you know, or growing up, you see that, and you're like, damn, that looks so dope, you know. But when I went down, I realized that, you know, the street bike world, it's not a comfortable world. It's a world where basically you're just going fast. And don't get me wrong, I had a lot of fun doing it, but one of the things I do enjoy doing is going far, you know, getting up and going. And, you know, that with a street bike, there really isn't much comfort there. There really, you know, I live in North Jersey, you know, to say, oh, I want to take a ride down to Philadelphia to get a cheesesteak. I mean, you could do it on a street bike, don't get me wrong. There's guys that tour all over the place with street bikes. Me personally, it just wasn't comfortable. It wasn't something that I felt like, you know, I wanted to continue. So after that bike, you know, it was a total loss. I went to Harley, and you know, I was still kind of in between the street bike world and wanting to kind of enter the cruiser world, so to speak. You know, I test rode the Harley Davidson V-Rod Night Rod Special specifically. Oh man, I love that bike. You know, I'll drop a picture, you know, here so you guys can see it. But that bike was amazing, man. I did a lot of work to it. You know, it was something that, you know, I mean, that bike was powerful. It had a really fat 240 rear tire. You know, it was just, it was beautiful. It really was. It was a bike that you know, I took a lot of pride in. A lot of work to that bike. I mean, the only thing I had left to do to make it faster was probably, you know, a turbo or something like that. Rode that bike for a few years, put a lot of miles on that, had a great time on that as well. Then one summer, I took a ride with, you know, two of my buddies over to York, PA, Yorktown, Pennsylvania, for the Harley Davidson factory tour. And one of the guys, you know, that was with us, he had just bought a Road Glide. It was an all-black Harley Davidson Road Glide. I can't remember if it was the special or the standard, but either way, he wanted to ride my bike, and I had the V-Rod at the time. Now, from York, PA, where I lived at the time in the Bronx, you're talking about a good distance. It wasn't something that was really close, you know. It was like 4 hours. So, you know, he tells me, oh, let me ride it. You know, he loved the bike. You know, he loved the work I did to it. He loved the sound. I mean, this thing sounded so powerful. You know, you turn that thing on, it would shake the block. You know what I mean? It was one of those bikes that just, you know, it was crazy. So I rode his Road Glide. I rode it for about, I don't know, who knows, 40, 50 miles or whatever. And honestly, that's when I fell in love with the Road Glide. And this is back in like 2018 or something like that. 2018, 2019. And I fell in love. I mean, that thing was amazing. You know, just the comfort. You know, he had some minor work done to the engine. I'm not sure exactly what he had done, but I mean, that thing was, you know, it was fast, it was torquey. You know, honestly, I came back in like that week. We did that trip in one day. So when we came back that week, honestly, you know, I traded the V-Rod in, and I ended up purchasing this Road Glide, you know, 2019 Road Glide Special. And honestly, like, it's just, I don't see myself getting anything else. Now, when I say that, I mean replacing this one. I would never actually replace this bike, right? But honestly, I would get another bike to be able to do street riding a little bit more comfortable. Now, when I say comfortable, I feel like this bike is the most comfortable bike I've owned personally. But sometimes, you know, for work, you got to go into the city, meaning Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens, you know, any of the 5 boroughs. And this bike, you know, going through in and out of, you know, traffic, not that, you know, it's the safest thing to do, but you know how it is sitting in traffic on one of these bikes. You know, you will overheat, you know. And this bike, because of the bags and because of how wide it is, it's not as comfortable. Now, don't get me wrong, I can definitely boogie on this bike. I can definitely, you know, I feel comfortable on it. It's a bike that I feel like I can dominate, but it doesn't compare to having like a bike that you can, you know, go in and out when you have to. You know, sometimes in the city, a lot of these cab drivers or just regular people, they're very aggressive when they're driving. So that being said, it's harder to you know, maneuver a Road Glide through traffic, or, you know, and I'm not trying to say, you know, in and out and causing chaos, no. But if you ride a motorcycle, you know, there are times where you got to get in and out in the pinch, you know, and that's where it becomes difficult. Now, the bike of choice that I would take personally, if I was to purchase another motorcycle just to kind of do more street riding or around town riding, as they say, honestly, I would go with the Fat Boy. I mean, you know, the Harley Davidson Fat Boy is a bike that I feel like in today's world doesn't get enough love. I mean, that is a sick bike, you know what I mean? It is comfortable, you know, it's fast, you know, you can definitely do a lot of work to it aftermarket wise and whatever, but personally, that's the bike that I feel like I would choose. Nothing beats the comfort of this Road Glide in general. Like, there's a lot more work I want to do to it, but right now I have it where it's comfortable for me. I mean, this bike, I get on it and I can ride for hours, and just, you know, enjoy it, you know what I mean? So that's basically my story on how I started riding. You know, I started with the street bike, the Yamaha R6. It was a 2012, and I love that thing. I mean, I had a lot of fun. Even thinking about it brings a smile to my face, just because of the oh man, Yamaha, you know, I don't know, they're tough to beat, you know. Again, all of this is preference, you know. I'm not saying you have to, you know, listen to my opinion. It is my opinion, you know what I mean? So I definitely think that it's you know, one of the best brands as far as, you know, street bikes out there. Now, bringing us back to the Road Glide, my Road Glide, a lot of people say, you know, the color that I have, which is the wicked red denim, you know, you don't see a lot out there. It's not a very, it wasn't, I don't know if the right word is popular. You just don't see a lot of them out there, you know, and I could give two shits about that, and I'll tell you why. This color, to me, it's a little bit dirty. I have to actually clean it. My, you know, landscaper came, and when he did his thing, the bike was outside. You know how that goes. But I feel like this is still one of the best colors that Harley has come out with in recent history. First of all, I love the matte finish. I just do. But this red, I mean, I don't know, man. I can't get tired of it. You know, we're in 2023. I bought this bike in 2019, and the reason I bought this bike was the color. Literally, like, I bought, you know, the special. I wanted the special regardless. But you know, this color, man, when I saw it, I mean, I saw it on the website at first, right? And I was like, man, that's a cool color, you know. Headed to the dealerships at the time. I was living in New York, so I went to a dealership in Great Neck, Long Island. I went to a New Rochelle Harley, and the only one that had it was Bergen County. So when I came out here, obviously I live in Jersey now, but when I purchased the bike, I lived in New York. When I saw it in person, it was over. I mean, I'm telling you, I fell in love. Like, I don't know, it's just me. Now, a lot of guys, oh, you know, they're not a huge fan of the red, or it looks like pink, or, you know, I just laugh, like, you know, again, colors, paint jobs, all that stuff is all preference, you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to like what I like, you know, and I could give, you know, like I said, not to be rude, but I don't care. Every time I approach my motorcycle, I feel like it's one of the better looking ones wherever I am, you know, just my opinion. But that's what lured me to this particular bike. I was gonna go with the all black, you know, Road Glide, but I had already come from having 2 black bikes, and I enjoyed it, you know what I mean? They were beautiful bikes. I mean, I just like the black color, to be honest. But I have working out now is, what do I want to do as far as more power? I definitely need more torque, especially when I'm riding with my wife, which, you know, she loves riding on this bike. You know, it lacks, you know. So I'm not sure if I want to go full, you know, 131 kit, or just want to kind of go more of a 122 and, you know, work this motor up. I don't know that, you know, so how do I say? Online, there's a lot of debate about, you know, what you should do as far as power and torque and gains, and, you know, and look, again, that's one of those things that I feel like it's a preference thing. You know, I don't need a motorcycle that has 200 horses and you know what I mean, like 200 foot-pounds of torque. If that's what you want, then, you know, go for a street bike. You know, and that's fine, because again, it's a preference thing, you know. So I don't know if I need all of that power, but I definitely need power. I definitely need, I'm just not sure, you know, which way to go, which way to take this, you know what I mean? All right, we are back. Just got a haircut, feeling fresh as shit right now. I don't know what it is about getting a haircut, man. It just fucking makes you feel like a brand new person. So now I'm heading over to Bergen County Harley. I need to pick up some denim spray to clean my bike up. I don't really use a lot of water on the bike. I just don't trust it. I know you can, but with the denim finish, it definitely makes it easier to just kind of clean it up without having to use water. I got a special spray I use for the engine to kind of get that, you know what I'm saying, nice and shiny. Just being out here and hearing the rumble, oh, hear that? Can't beat that. That's something you can't beat. I don't care who you are. That sound. I would love to hear in the comment section, you know, what you guys think as far as, you know, upgrades and engine, and, you know, definitely some engine work. I would love to hear what you guys think, and, you know, what route I should take as far as, like, you know, the motor work, which is something I want to do, you know, hopefully soon, to pull a little bit more power, you know. I wonder if they got the new CVO here. That would be dope. Just coming to pick up my spray so I can clean my baby up. Definitely a little dirty. It's one thing I hate, is riding when she's dirty. Just picked up my denim spray cleaner from the dealer. Go back, clean this bike up. It's always nice coming over here, checking out some of the bikes and stuff. Listen to that. So one of the salesmen told me they're supposed to be getting the CVOs, the new CVOs in around July. So definitely going to be back. Check those out. Telling you, sound is amazing. Back home now so I can get this bike cleaned up. Hopefully the rain holds out for the weekend. Get some riding in. Such a beautiful day today. Traffic on 17.